We aren't that far apart. I'll fly. Welcome to We Lead Anyway. This is a space for people who want to grow personally and professionally, but don't know the rules. And if they do know the rules, they don't give a crap about following them. Both are valid. I'm Noelle. I'm here to help you build confidence, get opportunities you deserve, and stop asking permission and or forgiveness, for that matter, to succeed. Every episode is a short hit of leadership wisdom made for the people who keep being told they're not ready. It's just not your time, kid. You don't have the experience. Translation, shut up and dribble. Yeah, we don't stay in our lane here. Here, we skip the line. Here, we lead anyway. Let's get started. Today, we're talking about the audacity to want more. That sentence alone gives people an eye twitch, I know. Not because wanting more is some outrageous idea, obviously, but because certain groups are quietly punished for even thinking about it. I mean, if you're a woman, if you're Black or brown or queer, if you grew up without access or a degree, the moment you want more, suddenly you're difficult. You're a little too big for your britches. Or my personal favorite, you're entitled. Entitled for wanting a life where rent doesn't feel like you have to sell a kidney. Right. But here's the truth. Wanting more is only threatening when the world didn't expect you to want anything at all. And the wild part is, many of us have been trained to think that being grateful is enough. It's not. Grateful for what? To have a job? Yes. I mean, sure, I love an attitude of gratitude. I personally feel like the more grateful I am, the more I have to be grateful for. That's more of a spiritual belief, but it works for me. But that's not what we're talking about here. Let's call it what it is. Ambition gets policed harder for the people who were never supposed to be at that table in the first place. Yeah. Yikes. Society prefers you humble, quiet, and endlessly thankful for whatever crumbs land near your feet. But you're listening to this show because you know that crumbs will never satiate you. When do they ever? All right. Let me tell you about my audacity to want more and why I even feel qualified or equipped to talk about it today. I am a woman who happens to be queer, a woman of color who is heavily tattooed and does not have a degree. And I have a little bit of an attitude. I grew up in a very conservative, very religious state. And then I got older and wiser and I moved to another very conservative, very religious state. And because growth apparently is built through suffering, I really had to navigate what it was like in a conservative, male-dominated field. So I fell into the corporate leadership world in my mid-20s, working in a contact center. I made $17 an hour, and honestly, I was like, I'm a baller. But here's what I quickly figured out, even back then. You don't get ahead by staying loyal to one company for decades, hoping they'll eventually notice you. That's what our parents did years ago. You get the title, and then you get the experience from that title, and you go to another place. Let them pay you more. Did you know that internal promotions are usually capped at like 7 to 10% of a salary increase? But will offer an external hire up to 20 to 30% more? So that's what I did. I went to one place, I got the title, I got the experience. I left that former place to go to a new place with that title and experience, and then I promoted there. And I kept doing the same thing from team lead to director. And so from 2017 till now, my salary has jumped over 200%. 200. And more on that later this season, because I'm going to talk about it. So now I'm a director of operations on a VP track, and I decided to get a degree just to see what academia feels like on purpose. I graduate in April of 2026. Super, super excited. So I had plenty against me, so to speak. No degree, not your typical executive look, not your typical executive vibe. And I don't ever want to be. But that's why I feel like I know how to help you build the career that you deserve because I figured out how to do it. All right. Every episode, I want to shift our mindset to think things through in a little different way. Wanting more is not entitlement. It means you actually see your potential and you're done pretending you don't. And when people react badly to your ambition, they're usually reacting to their own limitations, not yours. Success, it has nothing to do with waiting for the world to approve of your goals. It starts the moment you approve of yourself. And if you think that sounds cheesy, just see how far you make it without believing in your own ability. All right, little homework. Spend just 5 minutes writing down every career desire you've been too embarrassed to admit out loud. Don't edit, don't shrink, don't make it reasonable. Just be honest and then look at the list and ask yourself one question. What would it take for me to want this without apologizing for it? The answer is audacity. Success isn't personality, success is practice. And today, the practice is permission. So give yourself permission. If you enjoyed this conversation, please join me for episode 2. We're going to talk about clarity and how to figure out what you even want to begin with. Until next time, this is Noelle. Go take up space.